It is a sad and troubling statistic. Consider this. Every day, 22 veterans in the United States take their own lives. That's one suicide every 65 minutes. And as shocking as that number is, it may actually be higher. But there are resources to help our vets after they come back home. And joining us live in studio tonight, Mr. Ron Van Beek, the National Chaplain for the 5th Infantry Division. He's joining us tonight about some of the programs available. Chaplain, thank you for coming in tonight. We appreciate it. You see these numbers. It feels like an epidemic. It seems like an epidemic. Is it an epidemic?
Yes, I certainly think so, because coming from the Vietnam era, of course, we didn't see suicides happening among the soldiers. Granted, now at this point in time, there are Vietnam veterans who are committing suicide, but that wasn't the culture at that time.
What do you think some of the stumbling blocks are to getting help? Where should we be focusing here?
Well, certainly spiritual needs, being able to address your chaplain or to be able to address your minister, being able to look at the values that are lasting that came from the Vietnam era, for example. The culture of life is a substantial sea change between now and what it was back 40 years ago at the time of Vietnam.
In fact, you mentioned Vietnam. More than 69% of all veteran suicides were among those 50 and older. We're talking about mostly guys who were fighting in Vietnam. What do you think is behind that?
Well, certainly part of that has to be the Vietnam era, of course, was looked down on by many people within the United States. Vietnam vets have gone through a time of really being third-rate soldiers in a lot of instances. That's been corrected by the Gulf War and some of the things that we're seeing today, where vets are more honored than what they were in 1970, 1975.
Yeah, that was a national disgrace, the way that those soldiers were treated when they came back. As you mentioned, though, there has been a bit of an attitude change when it comes to at least recognizing some of the sacrifices that our fighting men and women make. But that isn't enough. We need money, we need resources. What else?
Well, certainly the VA has to address this, and of course the VA, with its problems that it has now, has tended to shy away from this issue. What we need more than anything else is national awareness, and the news media to cover this as adequately as what they cover fatalities in the field.
If you're feeling anxious or you feel like you want to reach out and get some help, where can you go?
Well, certainly being you're a civilian at this point in time, the place to go is to your church, to your local pastor. Try to get in within the church community and become a part of that community who can support you.
Absolutely. They need support. Obviously, we owe so much to them. It's only right that we give back. Ron Van Beek, National Chaplain with the 5th Infantry Division. You live in Grand Rapids?
I do.
It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Yeah.